my name is Daria, welcome to my channel, and today I will be sharing with you my 6th update for Pen Z palette. But first of all, I do whatever I can to survive this heat. I'm filming this video on 29th, right? Right, 29th of June, and the heat wave is still here. I don't like this kind of weather. I don't like heat. I got sunburned yesterday and it wasn't fun, to be honest. And I got sunburned even though I put sunscreen all over me. So if you see some red patches on my skin, that's what it is. But let's just jump into this video because I have a very exciting update today. I'm painting Urban Decay Naked Original palette, and when I say original, I mean it's a pre-released version. So I bought it in 2017 or 2018, so it's very old. And now you can see what it looked like in the introduction, and we had some dips, but we didn't have any pens. But of course, during all these years I've managed to use this palette quite a bit. And in my first update I hit 3 new pens in Virgin, Buck and Smoke. In my second update I managed to hit 3 more pens in Scene, in Half Baked and in Dark Horse. In my third update I had my first finished shade and it was Smoke, and also I hit an additional pen in Naked. In my fourth update I finished Virgin and Buck and hit an additional pen in Creep. And in my fifth update, meaning in my last update, I finished 2 more shades. They were Scene and Sidecar, and I expanded all of the pens quite a bit, and I've hit pen in Toasted. And that's what the palette is looking right now in our mid-year point. And as you can see, I have a lot of big changes since last update. So this is what the palette is looking like right now. I will show you once again. And I finished 2 shades. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting to make such a good progress, to be honest, on this palette. But let's talk about uses. So Virgin and Scene were finished already, so I will skip them. The first shade that wasn't finished, that I've managed to finish this month, was Naked. And I've used Naked 13 times since my last update, and I've used it everywhere by the end of the month because I knew that I was so close to finishing it and I didn't want to have a couple more uses in July for this shade just in order to finish it, so I've decided to do it in June. I've used it in my eyebrows, I've used it with combination with other palettes, so I've used it a lot. And for example, there were days when I used Naked in my eyebrows and then I used it in my eye look, but I counted it as only 1 use. So in reality I think I've used a lot more Naked each use compared to previous months, I think. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. But let's move on. Sidecar and back were finished last update, and we will move on to half baked. I used this shade 10 times since last update for a total of 71 uses in this project. And I think I forgot to mention, but it took me 80 tracked uses to finish Naked, and I've started counting my uses in October of 2024, so all the previous years of usage are unaccounted for in this palette. Smoke was finished previously, and I've used Dark Horse also 10 times for a total of 71 tracked uses. I've managed to finish Toasted, and it took me only 4 additional times to do it. And I've used Toasted only 29 times in order to finish it. Once again, it's only tracked uses, but also I would like to say that there were times that I frankened some part of the Toasted with a blush, so uses might not be as accurate, and also you need to understand that when I use an eyeshadow as a blush, of course I'm using a lot more product. So I think that's why I've managed to use up Toasted in only 29 tracked uses. I've used Hustle 10 times this month for a total of 21 uses, and I use this shade all over my lid, and that's why we have quite a nice dip in this shade. The next shade is Creep, and I've used it 22 times this month for a total of 125 uses. And I've hit a side pan in this shade. To be honest, I thought that I've already hit side pan last month, but as you can see on the pictures, I didn't do it, and now I use Creep as a liner. And I've used Gunmetal 10 times for a total of 31 times. And we also have quite a nice dip in it. I used it in my lower lash line, and that's it for now, but it's all about to change. I think I've had a couple of goals for these updates, and first of all, my soft goal each month is to use each shade in this palette at least 10 times, and I've managed to do it. But also I think that I said that I would like to finish half baked and half of Dark Horse, and I'm also happy to say that I did it. I thought that I might be able to finish Toasted, but I wasn't sure. I don't know, for some reason I always think that the products will take me a longer time to finish than they do in reality. I think it's better to think that way, because then I have a nice surprise when I finish something sooner than I expected. But yeah, I think I just can't predict the future of panning products. Most certainly I couldn't predict that I finish Naked this month, but I did it, and I'm very happy about it. So I think for next month I will have goals to finish half baked, hit pan in Hustle, and hit pan in Gunmetal. But that's not all. Since I have only 5 shades left in this palette, and two of them are very close to being done. I've decided to roll in my second, I guess, pencil palette for 2025. And it will be this small palette from Lin&Lo Mineral Makeup. My mother decluttered this palette to me in March, and I started working on it in April because it was in my 50 shades of black, and I've tried to hit pan in all 3 shades in this palette. And now you can see what the palette is looking like right now. As you can see, we have a lot of progress on this palette, and that's why I've decided to roll it in. I'm working on it on the side. I'm using this palette almost every day, so I thought, why not show it to you in my pen set palette. But I use first 2 shades as my lid setting shades, and I use the last brown shade in my eyebrows. I hope you will be able to see, but brown shade has a lot of hard pen, and unfortunately I need to scrape out the upper layer almost after every use because it just gets hard pen very fast. I don't know why, to be honest. I think it might be because this palette is very old. Those 2 shades are very powdery, so maybe that's the reason why this brown shade gets so much hard pen. I'm not sure, to be honest. But anyway, I'm working on this palette already. I have some good progress on it, and so I will be showing you my progress on this palette also. And I feel like it might make this video more interesting just because we don't have a lot of shades left in my original pencil palette, so I don't know, I feel like it might be fun. And I've also decided to do something. I will be frankening this shade with Dark Horse in my pencil palette, and I will do it in order to create a transition shade for me. Since I finished Naked, I don't have something that I can put in my crease in any of these palettes. Well, theoretically I can put this brown shade in my crease, but as I told you, it gets hard pen a lot, and so I don't really want to do it. But I think mixing both of these shades together will create a nice transition shade, and I will do it right after I film this video. So I think right now I will insert a footage of what this shade is looking like. I know that will mean that I will use up Dark Horse a little bit later than I could have if I continued using this shade alone on its own in my outer corners. But it's okay with me because I have 2 more dark shades in this palette, and I can use Creep or Gunmetal in my outer corners instead of Dark Horse. Once again, I have a goal of using all of these shades at least 10 times. I think I will once again put a goal of using Creep 20 times, and by the way, I've had this goal last month and I managed to hit it. And also I want to finish Half Baked, and I want to hit pen in Hustle and Gunmetal. As for this palette, I don't know, I think I will repress this middle shade and that will be it. I will just be working on this palette and we will see how it goes with it. But that's it for this video, and I'm very happy with the progress that we managed to make, because I have 7 empties in this palette and I have 2 more shades that will be empties very soon. And when I started this project, I thought that, well, maybe I will finish some shades, maybe I will hit pan in some shades, but I wasn't expecting this much progress. And now, after half a year, I think that I might actually be able to finish up this entire palette. Of course, I think it helps that this palette is so old, that all of the shades are very powdery and crumbly, that I like more intense shimmers, for example, so I kind of need to layer a lot of these shades on my lids in order to receive some kind of effect that I will like. But for me it doesn't really matter, because I'm using this palette, I'm using it up, and I can't be happier about it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I hope you will stay with me on my project painting journey. Thank you again so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!